There are moments in life when nothing works anymore. You pray, but the answer does not come. You wait, but the door stays closed. You try to stay strong, but your heart feels tired. Some problems reach a point where logic fails, people give up, and hope begins to fade. But what if the door you are desperately trying to open is not meant to be opened during the day? What if the answer you are searching for is waiting for you in the quiet of the night? While the world sleeps, Allah opens a door that most people never knock on. A door where excuses fall away, where tears are accepted, and where impossible situations begin to change. This is not a reminder for everyone. It is for the one whose heart feels heavy, for the one who feels unseen, for the one who has reached the edge and has nowhere left to turn. If you are still listening, understand this clearly. Allah may be calling you to meet Him tonight, because there is a prayer so powerful that when it is prayed sincerely in the darkness of night, Allah opens doors that no effort, no connection, and no plan ever could. Do not scroll away. This message may be the answer you have been waiting for. Lesson 1. The night prayer is a personal invitation from Allah. Tahajjud is not an ordinary prayer. It is not something you stumble into by chance. It is a personal invitation from Allah. While the world is wrapped in sleep, while distractions are silent and hearts are exposed, Allah calls out in the last part of the night. He asks who is seeking help, who is asking for forgiveness, and who is making dua. This call is not general. It is specific. It reaches hearts Allah wants close to Him. At that moment, Allah is not waiting for perfect pronunciation or long speeches. He is not waiting for impressive words or memorized phrases. Allah is waiting for truth. He is waiting for the servant who comes tired, broken, hopeful, and honest. The servant who rises not because life is easy, but because life has become heavy. When you wake up for Tahajjud, understand this clearly. Allah chose you. Out of millions sleeping, He placed restlessness in your heart and pulled you from your bed to stand before Him. This alone is a sign of His care and mercy. You may feel weak as you stand. You may feel unworthy. You may feel like you have failed too many times. But Allah did not call you to remind you of your mistakes. He called you to forgive you, to heal you, and to draw you closer. Every step you take toward your prayer mat is recorded. Every moment of struggle against sleep is rewarded. Even the intention to wake up, even if you fall back asleep, is seen by Allah. When you stand in the quiet of the night, there are no eyes watching you, no expectations to meet, no one to impress. It is just you and Allah. This is where sincerity is born. And when Allah invites a servant to stand before Him in the night, He does not intend for that servant to leave empty-handed. Allah either grants what is asked, delays it for something better, or replaces it with protection you cannot yet see. Tahajjud is not about how long you pray. It is about who you stand before. It is the moment when a servant admits, Ya Allah, I cannot do this without you. And when that admission comes from the heart, Allah responds in ways that change lives. Lesson 2. Allah understands dua made without words. Not every dua is spoken. Not every prayer has words. Some pain sits too deep in the heart to be explained. Some wounds tighten the throat before the tongue can move. In those moments, silence itself becomes a form of dua. Allah does not need explanations. He does not need details. He already knows what broke you, what you are carrying, and what you are afraid to say out loud. In the night prayer, when the world is silent and no one else is watching, Allah listens to what your heart is saying, even when your lips remain still. A heavy breath, a trembling pause, tears falling in sujud. These are all understood by Allah more clearly than any speech. You may feel like you do not know how to ask anymore. You may feel confused, exhausted, or emotionally empty. But Allah never measures dua by how beautiful it sounds. He measures it by how sincere it is. The Prophet taught us that Allah is closer to His servant than anyone can imagine. When you stand in Tahajjud with nothing but honesty, Allah hears you fully. Every tear you hide from people is known to Him. Every silent struggle you endure is written and remembered. This is why night dua is so powerful. There is no performance, no distraction, no fear of being judged. It is just a heart speaking its truth to its Creator. Sometimes your only dua is Ya Allah. Sometimes it is a long silence filled with pain. Sometimes it is crying without knowing why. And all of it is accepted. Allah does not turn away a servant who comes to Him broken. In fact, Allah loves the servant who returns to Him again and again, even with the same pain, even with the same weakness. The night prayer teaches you that you do not need to be strong in front of Allah. You only need to be real. And when Allah hears a dua that comes from deep sincerity, doors begin to open quietly. Healing begins unseen. Relief is written before you even realize it, because Allah understands what no one else ever could. Lesson 3. What is impossible for you is easy for Allah. There are moments in life when a situation feels completely impossible. You have tried every door. You have searched for every solution. You have done everything within your strength. And still, nothing moves. At that point, the mind gives up. People begin to say, it will never happen. Even your own heart starts to believe the door is closed forever. But what you see as impossible is not impossible for Allah. Allah is not limited by circumstances, time, people, or outcomes. What stops you does not stop Him. What confuses you does not confuse Him. What frightens you does not weaken His power. Allah creates ease from places you never expected. He opens doors you did not even know existed. He changes outcomes without warning, without effort, and without explanation. The night prayer reconnects your heart to this truth. When you stand before Allah in Tahajjud, you are not standing before the problem. You are standing before the one who controls the problem. You are not asking limited peoples or fragile systems. You are asking the Creator of causes themselves. This is why Tahajjud is different from every other moment of dua. At night, your heart is stripped of distractions. There is no audience, no noise, no strength to rely on except Allah. That is when real certainty is born. Allah does not need years to fix what feels broken. He does not need help to open what feels sealed. One command from Allah is enough to shift an entire future. Sometimes Allah opens the door immediately. Sometimes He delays it. But delay does not mean rejection. Delay is often protection, preparation, or redirection. Allah may be changing you before He changes your situation. He may be strengthening your patience, deepening your faith, or teaching you trust, so that when the door opens, you are ready to walk through it without fear. Many of the greatest answers to dua arrive quietly. A sudden peace, a new perspective, a strength you did not have before. These are signs that Allah is already working. The night prayer reminds you that you are never truly stuck. You are only being guided through a path you do not yet understand. People may tell you to accept defeat. Circumstances may say it is over. But Allah's power is not measured by probability. What looks impossible to you is already written, planned, and controlled by Allah. When you rise for Tahajjud, you are declaring trust. You are saying, Ya Allah, I cannot see the way, but I believe you can. And that belief changes everything. Doors do not open because of effort alone. They open when Allah wills, and Allah loves to open doors for the servant who turns to Him when no one else can help. So never stop praying at night. Never stop asking boldly. Never stop trusting Allah's power over what seems impossible, because with Allah, nothing is ever beyond repair. Lesson 4. The night prayer heals what no one sees. Not all pain is visible. Some wounds never reach the surface. During the day, many people appear strong. They smile, they function, they fulfill responsibilities, But when the night arrives and the noise fades, the heart reveals what has been hidden all along. The night prayer is where those hidden burdens finally find relief. Tahajjud is not only a prayer for solutions, it is a prayer for healing. It reaches places within the heart that no advice, no conversation, and no distraction ever could. There are wounds caused by disappointment, betrayal, loss, fear, and exhaustion. These wounds do not always have names, but they carry weight. Over time, they drain the soul quietly. When you stand before Allah at night, you are not required to pretend. You do not need to be strong. You do not need to explain why you feel the way you do. Allah already knows every crack in your heart. This is why the night prayer feels different. The silence allows honesty to rise. Tears come without force. Thoughts surface without resistance. And in that vulnerability, healing begins. Allah does not rush healing. He rebuilds the heart gently, one night at a time, one prayer at a time, one moment of sincerity at a time. Sometimes healing comes as tears that finally fall. Sometimes as peace that settles without explanation. Sometimes as the strength to continue, even though nothing has changed yet. The night prayer teaches you that healing is not always the removal of pain. Often, it is the ability to carry pain without being crushed by it. In Tahajjud, Allah reminds you that you are not alone with your suffering. Every worry you hide, every fear you suppress, every tear you hold back during the day is known to Him. Allah listens when no one else does. He understands when no one else can. And He comforts in ways words cannot describe. Many people search for healing in distractions. They stay busy, they stay surrounded, they stay loud. But healing does not come from noise. It comes from presence. The presence of Allah in the quiet of the night brings a peace that settles deep within the soul. It does not always remove the storm, but it gives you an anchor. This is why those who pray at night walk differently. They still face struggles, but their hearts are steady. Their patience is deeper. Their reactions are calmer. They have poured their pain out before Allah, and Allah has replaced it with something stronger. The night prayer becomes a private space where the heart rests, a space where faith is repaired, a space where wounds are acknowledged and treated by the one who created the heart itself. Even if no one ever understands what you are going through, Allah does, and that knowledge alone brings relief. So when the world sleeps and your heart feels heavy, do not run from the night. Rise for prayer. Stand before Allah. Let the healing begin quietly. Lesson 5. Consistency in the night. Prayer opens lasting doors. The power of the night prayer does not come from doing it once. It comes from returning to it again and again. Allah does not ask you to be perfect. He does not ask you to pray for long hours. He asks for sincerity and consistency. Even a small, quiet effort repeated regularly is beloved to Allah. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until life is calm, until faith feels strong, until motivation arrives. But Tahajjud is often born in hardship, not ease. It is prayed when the heart is tired, when the mind is heavy, and when the soul is searching for relief. Consistency in the night prayer builds a connection that transforms a person from the inside. Each time you wake up, even when you feel weak, you strengthen your trust in Allah. Each prayer becomes a declaration that Allah is your first refuge, not your last option. Allah loves the servant who returns to Him repeatedly, even with the same struggles, even with the same mistakes, even with the same unanswered questions. Repetition does not annoy Allah. It draws you closer. With consistency, the night prayer becomes more than a request. It becomes a relationship. Over time, you begin to notice subtle changes. Your heart becomes calmer. Your reactions soften. Your patience deepens. You begin to see wisdom where you once saw only delay. Doors do not always open suddenly. Some open gradually. Some open internally before they open externally. Allah may grant peace before relief, strength before solutions, and understanding before answers. And when the door finally opens, you realize it opened at the perfect time, not when you demanded it, but when Allah knew you were ready. Consistency also protects you from despair. On nights when hope feels distant, the act of standing before Allah keeps faith alive. It reminds you that even when nothing changes outwardly, something is changing within you. Allah never wastes a single prayer. Not one moment of effort goes unnoticed. Every step toward the prayer mat is written. Every moment of struggle against sleep is rewarded. Even the nights you intended to wake up but could not are counted. This is the mercy of Allah. The night prayer teaches discipline, humility, and reliance. It trains the heart to seek Allah before seeking people. It strengthens the soul to face life without fear. When you commit to Tahajjud, you are placing your trust in Allah's timing, wisdom, and power. You are surrendering outcomes while holding firmly to faith. And that surrender opens doors no force ever could. Some doors open in the form of answered dua. Some open as protection from harm you never see. Some open as guidance that changes your direction completely. But every door Allah opens through the night prayer leads to goodness. So do not underestimate small beginnings. Do not wait for motivation. Begin with what you can. 1 night a week, 2 units of prayer, a few sincere words. Let consistency carry you forward. One day, you will look back and realize that the habit of standing before Allah at night reshaped your heart, your faith, and your life. The night prayer may be quiet, it may be hidden, but its impact is powerful and lasting. And through it, Allah opens doors that remain open. If this message reached your heart, know this clearly. It was not by accident. Allah guides hearts before He changes situations. And the fact that you listened until this moment is already a sign that Allah is drawing you closer to Him. Tonight, when the world grows quiet and the noise fades, remember what you heard. Remember that there is a door still open. A door that opens not with force, but with sincerity. Stand before Allah in the night, even if you feel weak, even if your words are few, even if all you can say is, Ya Allah, that is enough. Do not measure the night prayer by what you receive immediately. Measure it by the closeness you feel, the peace that settles in your heart, and the trust that begins to grow within you. Every sincere step toward Allah is met with mercy. Every tear shed in the darkness is seen, and every prayer made in the night is stored by Allah in a way that nothing else is. The door you believe is impossible is not closed. It is waiting for the moment Allah knows is best. So begin tonight, not perfectly, but sincerely, not with strength, but with faith. If this reminder brought peace to your heart, support this mission by subscribing to Qalb Peace Daily. Share this message with someone who needs hope. Leave a comment with a simple, Ya Allah, and make dua for those who are struggling. May Allah open every closed door in your life, ease what feels heavy, and grant your heart the peace it has been searching for. And may the night prayer become a light that guides you forward, one night at a time.